I would like to invite Atticus up to give the invocation.
Let us pray. Lord, please bless us all today as we recognize a scout who has earned the rank of Eagle. We thank you for scouts like Trevor who serve our community, and we also ask that you bless such scouts. We thank you and honor you as reverend scouts and scouters. Amen.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the opening ceremony. Color Guard, attention! Color Guard, advance the colors. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Scout sign. Please join me in the Scout oath and law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Color Guard, post the colors. Color Guard retreat. Everyone, you can be seated. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming. At this point, I would like to invite Committee Chair, Mr. David DeVoto, to open this Court of Honor. Need these now.
Morning, everybody. By the authority vested in me as a representative of the Baltimore Area Council and the National Council, Scouting America, I declare this Court of Honor to be convened for the sole purpose of awarding the rank of Eagle Scout to Trevor Center.
When a boy becomes a scout, there should be instilled within him that which we call the spirit of scouting. This lit candle symbolizes that spirit, because the spirit of scouting embodies the fine principles of the Scout Oath and Law. It becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may be feeble, but when multiplied by the millions of youth in scouting, it becomes very powerful indeed. After a youth has entered scouting, the Scout law that he is promised to obey is put into effect as occasions may demand. There are 12 parts, all important and all meaningful. And finally, in the 3 points of the Scout Oath, which we hold during the opening of this ceremony, he promises to, on his honor, to do his best, to do his duty, first to God and his country. Second, to others, by helping them at all times. And third, to himself, keeping himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You see how the light of the spirit of scouting grows and becomes stronger. These, in outline, are the basic ideals of scouting, to which each boy subscribes when he becomes a scout. I would like to now invite Mr. Ty Weeball up to the stage.
In order to reach the rank of Eagle, there is a trail of ranks to work through on the way to the top. Trevor worked through each of these ranks during his years in Troop 432. Trevor earned Scout on August 4th, 2019. Trevor earned Tenderfoot on March 4th, 2020. Trevor earned second class on June 2nd, 2021. Trevor earned first class on March 2nd, 2022. Trevor earned Star on July 20th, 2022. Trevor earned Life on March 29th, 2023. And finally, Trevor earned Eagle on December 3rd, 2025. Now we will ask Trevor to give a quick recap of his Eagle project.
Thank you, Mr. Ty. So my project was to lead the construction of 6 benches for Howard County Conservancy. They're a great program. They do outdoor education, and they host stuff like summer camps. So these benches are going to be used for their various programs like summer camps, for weddings, for other outdoor events. They were very happy with them. I'm glad. And I hope they'll see a lot of use.
I would like to now call upon Shenandoah Wolf to give the Eagle Scout charge to Trevor.
You can't run away from that. The Eagle rank represents proficiency in all scouting skills and is attained only by about 6% of all youth in scouting. It represents a great deal of teamwork as a member and a leader of your troop. You demonstrated this by living the Scout Oath and Law in an effort to perpetuate the scouting spirit. It also represents years of hard work, strength of character, persistence, and more importantly, it is indicative of what lies in the future as a Scout grows into adulthood. The Eagle rank testifies that a Scout has an understanding of his community and his nation and a willingness to become involved. It is also fitting at this time to explain that not only does this badge signify his hard work, it also signifies certain obligations on his part. The first obligation of an Eagle Scout is honor. The white of the Eagle badge represents honor, and it is the sacred foundation of his character. Character is not what you think of yourself, but what you are deep inside. It is what you do to reflect credit upon your home, family, friends, and yourself. Always let the white of the badge remind you to live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. The blue of an Eagle badge represents loyalty, your loyalty, for without it, character lacks direction. Regardless of how rough the road, how difficult the task, or how impossible the situation, you must remain loyal to your cause and your purpose. It is the sense of belonging, being part of a team, and working together with others. It is standing by your work, your promises, and your pledges. It is the feeling you give others, knowing that they can count on you. Let the blue of this badge remind you to remain loyal. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is courage. The red of the Eagle badge represents courage. It gives your character force and strength. If you have faith in God and your fellow man, you are able to face each day unafraid and strive to share the work at hand. You should do your part in all things, regardless of danger, adversity, or hardship. Let the red of the badge remind you for courage. The fourth obligation is responsibility, which is represented by the Scout motto, be prepared. It means that you are always in a state of readiness, both in mind and body, so you will be able to face danger and help others to the best of your ability. It also means that you have been trained for emergencies and that you are confident in your ability to do your duty as an Eagle Scout. The fifth and final obligation is that of service. This obligation is represented by the eagle. You must extend a helping hand to those who still toil up the scouting trail, just as others helped you achieve your goal. It means that the daily good turn must continue. You must strive to protect the weak and defend the helpless. The eagle also indicates that you are now an elite member of an esteemed group of world citizens. With this honor comes the knowledge that any discredit which falls upon you also befalls your brother Eagle Scouts. Trevor, are you willing to accept these obligations and responsibilities and the honor of the Eagle Badge? If so, please answer, I am.
I am.
Remember your obligations of honor, loyalty, courage, responsibility, and service. Our heartfelt congratulations to you on this very special occasion, and our sincere hope is that you always wear your Eagle Badge with dignity and pride. This is not the end of the trail, but rather the beginning of a new era in your life. You are now entering into a brotherhood of individuals who have not only achieved the Eagle Scout rank, but have made a commitment to the Scout oath and law. You will always be an Eagle Scout and will be expected to conduct yourself accordingly. I would now like to call up Ian Holda to deliver the Eagle Scout pledge. You stay this time.
Right here.
Trevor, I challenge you to enter the Eagle Scout Brotherhood, holding ever before you without reservation the ideals of honor and service. By repeating the Eagle Scout pledge before this assembly, you will become an Eagle Scout. Though the words you will use are similar to those by which you joined scouting, today they mean more than they ever could have meant at that time or at any point in the past. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, using the same words that are found at the end of the Declaration of Independence, you seal your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. Trevor, are you willing to accept these responsibilities? If so, please answer, I am.
I am.
Would the Eagle Scouts in the audience also stand to reaffirm their pledge? Trevor, please face the audience and repeat the Eagle Scouts pledge after me. I reaffirm my allegiance.
I reaffirm my allegiance
To the three promises of the Scout Oath.
to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize
I thoughtfully recognize
and take upon myself
and take upon myself
the obligations and responsibilities
the obligations and responsibilities
of an Eagle Scout.
of an Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best
On my honor, I will do my best
to make my training an example
to make my training an example
and to make my rank and my influence
and to make my rank and my influence
count strongly for better scouting
count strongly for better scouting
and for better citizenship
and for better citizenship
in my troop,
in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contact with other people.
and in my contacts with other people.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
2. The Eagle Scouts in the audience may now be seated. Thank you. By the authority vested in this court of honor by the National Council of Scouting America and by recommendation of the persons who have investigated your credentials, your leadership practices, and your character, we hereby award the rank of Eagle Scout to you. Trevor, please let the candle signifying the rank of Eagle. Please help with the Eagle Awards. Family adventure things.
Stretch. Will Mr. Eric Sentinel, Trevor's father, please come forward and present Trevor with the Eagle neckerchief? Every Eagle Scout must own a total of 21 merit badges. And with every 5 additional badges owned, an Eagle Palm is awarded. Trevor has owned a total of 54 merit badges. I would like to invite Miss Wendy Sentinel up to the stage, Trevor's loving mother. So please come forward and present our new Eagle Scout with his Eagle Medal and Eagle Palms.
Something like that.
That's what this says in the script.
Mr. Dave, I should have told your cheaters. I can't see.
Please present him with his Eagle Palms.
Okay, you're getting 7 Eagle Palms. We have silver. I want to see them all. Why not? I'm not pinning them on.
How can they go?
I would like to invite up Mr. Ty Weaver to please come forward and present our new Eagle Scout with his patch.
Oh, we Yes.
Okay, scout attention. Salute. 2.
All right, stay right here.
I now invite Mr. Dave Devoto to please come forward and present our new Eagle Scout with his Eagle certificate. Scouting America has created the Eagle Mentor Pin as a way of honoring those whose efforts have assisted the Scout to reach the Eagle rank. Trevor, ask your mentors to come forward and present them with our pins.
All right. So first, I'd like to call back up Mr. Ty Reaver. Mr. Ty was my Eagle mentor officially for my project. It was, I believe, your first time being Eagle mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, my first time doing projects too, so not the same.
I think we both learned as much.
Yeah, I know you have multiple kids in scouting, so I hope that this experience will help you so that make sure they can get their Eagles. Is it pinned it on them? Thank you very much. All right. My second pin, Kevin Donnelly. Yep, So Kevin was very gracious enough to lend us his basement for the entirety of the project, and was just a big help in making sure we had everything we need, some knowledge if we needed it came to him, and just I could not have done this project without your help. So I'd like to give you this mentor pin. Thank you. Yeah, you're allowed. Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then my last mentor pin goes to Ian Brown.
Wait, what?
That's
not in the script.
He's not in the script, no. So Ian worked with me throughout this entire project. We spent, I don't even know how long.
I have no idea.
We built a test bench, we did everything. So he was with me this entire process. And so I felt it wouldn't be right not to give you a pin. So which second one? We'll go here then. Sure. Yeah. Too many.
I'm gonna sink. Will the Eagle Scouts parents please come forward and stand for song? No, you're not. No one will ever know the amount of encouragement and laughter the mother of the Eagle Scout provided to get to this day. As a symbol of what your mother has made possible, this court now asks Trevor to present his mom with the miniature eagle pen.
This goes right through the sure. Thickest material we've ever tried.
Trevor, your father too has helped you along the Eagle Trail and in all aspects of your life. He has always been there for you when you needed help, and he has always pushed you to your limits and made scouting fun. This court now asks you to present your dad with the miniature eagle pen. I would now like to invite the parents of Trevor Sentinel to say a few words. First, a few seconds.
Okay, I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't cry. So just a little side note real quick. First time I met Shenandoah, like when I grow up, I want to be her. So we'll see if I can do this justice. So we say this a lot with 432. It truly takes a village to raise children. I happen to be very blessed and have a great village helping us along the way. We miss those of you who cannot be with us in person, are thrilled for those of you who can make it today. Thank you for coming together today to celebrate Trevor earning his eagle. To be honest, some of you know this, I was not sure he'd make it. Don't get me wrong, this young man is a freaking powerhouse and can do anything he puts his mind to. But for a while, it seems that scouting might not be for him. I'm extremely happy that with help from his friends and family, he stuck with it and ended up growing so much throughout his scouting journey, which he is still on. From the day we joined Pack 1250, I think both Trevor and I were a little unsure. Most of you probably know this, but Trevor was homeschooled for his entire career in school. So when we started going to den meetings, it was a little crazy and rather loud for us. But we ended up with a great den leader, Mr. Gregg, who helped keep Trevor on the right path and wanting to keep going back, earning belt loops, racing Pinewood Derby cars, pretty much anything short of camping. His growth and moving into a troop were tough times and almost ended the journey for scouting, but we kept looking and found a home with Troop 432, which a lot of you guys are here, thank you. Trevor managed to tough it out and push through his dislike for camping and started to grow and thrive with the help of a few outstanding scouts and leaders who could see he was struggling and reached out to him. Side note, one of them is Ian Holda, who is up here, took it upon himself to pull Trevor aside and help him when needed and really, really helped his journey, so I appreciate that. I think that set Trevor up to become the man he is today, who is always watching out for the younger kids who might be struggling and need some extra support. When Trevor was getting close to aging out of scouting, he decided he still had more to do and wanted to keep going. So we found Crew 3141, who have welcomed Trevor, Lily, and myself, and we've had some great times with them. Trevor's love for scouting has definitely rubbed off on Lily. Her goal is to surpass him and be an even bigger, better Eagle Scout. And I know Trevor will be there helping her along the way and cheering him on. Trevor joined the OA and NYLT during the past few years and really began to grow in confidence and overall social skills. NYLT has been a passion for Trevor's over the past few years, and we have been fortunate and blessed with so many wonderful friends throughout this course. This is also about the time I figured out how much of an impact Trevor has had on fellow scouts. It seems that everyone knows who Trevor is. Most recently, I was once again picking Trevor up for Broad Creek NYLT staff graduation and was talking to the parents next to me. I asked them, "Who's your scout?" And they're like, "Oh, he's one of the troop guides." They're like, "Who's your scout?" I'm like, "He's the one up there talking." "Trevor? You mean Trevor's your scout?" "Yeah." "Oh, my kid will not stop talking about it. It's Trevor this, Trevor that. I'm so sad I can't go to Trevor's Court of Honor. He wanted to cancel vacation to come to Court of Honor." His parents are like, "No." It's not the first time or the last time that I've heard that about Trevor. I've had adults come to me and fellow scouts going, "You're Trevor's mom?" I'm like, okay, like a little pseudo celebrity here. I will never forget the car ride home from NYLT participation weekend for Trevor. We had stopped at Wawa, like you have to do after you leave Broad Creek. Trevor got quiet and said he had made a big mistake. Like most parents, my first thought was, "Oh, this can't be good." So I asked him what happened. He said they'd asked who wanted to staff NYLT and he didn't put an application in. And it had just dawned on him from leaving that that was the most impactful adventure of his life. And that it made so much of a big deal on him that he wanted to continue, help out with the next session, and make that impact on other scouts' lives. So that's when it just clicked with him and it clicked with me, and I almost teared up, and I think you may have teared up. And I said, "We can put an application as soon as we get in." He got the call. 4th year now?
Third staffing.
Third staffing, first participation. So without missing a beat, he just wanted to give that back to other people. He wanted to give that feeling and what he gained from NYLT to others, including his sister who's taken the course this year. I credit his time with NYLT for helping him break out of his shell and becoming a confident, well-spoken, caring, take-charge man who we all came here to cheer on. If I could change one thing over his scouting career, it'd probably be an easier way to go to Camp Broad Creek. 22 trips last year, back and forth. I joke each trip that I should probably get a small cabin up there. In my mind, Trevor's still that sweet little 4.5-year-old kid. 4.5-year-old kid, eager to try new things. When I look into the face of an amazing young man, knock it off. I am left breathless and excited to see what awesome, crazy shenanigans he will do next. Trevor, thank you for letting me join you. I can do this. And share the journey with you over the past 18 years. You are the best friend a mother could have. You've taught me that feedback is truly a gift. That you need to be a good sender to get your message across, and that even a small gesture can make a big difference.
I'd like to now invite Joe's dad, Erickson, to say a few words.
I'm going to top that, so I'm not going to try. I was also told to keep it pretty short. So when Trevor was around 5 years old, he came up to my office one day looking really nervous, and he said, "Daddy, I need to tell you something." He paused, and I said, "It's okay, go ahead." He said, "I was playing with a ball in the TV room, and the ball hit the TV screen." At the point I'm thinking, great, this is going to get expensive. I said, "All right, how bad's the damage?" He said, "Oh, I don't think anything got broken. I just didn't want to hide it from you." I hugged him and said, buddy, even if you had shattered it, I couldn't be mad at you right now. I am so proud of you for telling me that, and you did the right thing. I realized at that moment that he's always been living the scout law even before he was a scout, before he knew anything about it. He was trustworthy when it would have been easier to say nothing and hope nobody noticed. He was brave to tell me even though he knew he could get in trouble. That's just always been part of who he is. Now, if you know Trevor well, you also know he's never really been one to do something just because somebody else thinks he should. You can explain, encourage, suggest, maybe even nag, but in the end, Trevor has always needed to choose something for himself. And as frustrating as that sometimes has been, I think it's one of his greatest strengths. When he decides something matters to him, he really goes after it. That's how he learned things like juggling and Spanish, suddenly just showing up and showing us these things that he's learned. Not because somebody forced him to, but because at some point he decided, I want to do this. And then he put in the effort. I saw the same thing happen with Scouts. One of my favorite examples was with the Order of the Arrow. When he first was nominated, he had no real interest in it. He was busy as the SPL, and the ordeal just didn't sound like something appealing to him at all. At the time, camping was still something he just tolerated. He was never really loved it. But the following year, something had really changed, and he just had decided he was ready. He went through the ordeal, and afterwards, I remember asking him what had changed, especially since he used to hate camping so much and had such a hard time sleeping outdoors. He told me he had realized that in order to do the parts he did like, hanging out with friends, sitting around campfires, and doing fun activities, he had to accept that sometimes he would be uncomfortable. And that really stayed with me because that's just such a mature lesson. He got comfortable with discomfort. He stopped fighting every part he didn't like and started accepting that some worthwhile things come with challenges, inconvenience, and a little lost sleep. That change in perspective didn't just help him in camping, I think it helped him grow in life. It helped turn scouting from something he participated in to something he really embraced. Over the years, I've had the privilege of watching that growth up close. We built a lot of Pinewood Derby cars together, starting back in Cub Scouts. In the beginning, he could only do the designing, the sanding, and maybe painting, while I had to do all the cutting. By the end, he was doing basically everything himself, with me mostly there just for supervision with power tools. We also built other things together over the years, including this candle holder right here that the troop uses for courts of honor, which makes it especially meaningful to have used here today. During one of those projects, Trevor actually taught me about the EDGE method. Explain, demonstrate, guide, and enable. He gave me the tools to be able to teach him things in a way that lets him grow. And that's one of the strange and wonderful things about being a parent. Your job starts with doing so much for your child, and if all goes well, over time your role changes. You get the privilege of watching them become a capable, independent adult. I'll always cherish the memories from Trevor's scouting journey, camping trips, canoeing, rafting, launching rockets into the trees, a bear at a campsite. I've enjoyed watching him grow from a fairly quiet, rule-following boy into a true leader of a man. Like any dad, I've always hoped my son would become a better man than me and do things I didn't get to do. I only made it as far as life in my scouting career, and I've always regretted not finishing. Trevor, watching you complete this journey to Eagle has made me incredibly proud. Not just because you earned the rank, but because of the man you've become along the way. You've shown integrity, determination, growth, and real leadership. You've done this in your own way, on your own terms, in your own time, and that makes it even more meaningful. I love you, I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see where life takes you next.
I would like to invite Trevor's aunt, my mom.
This is my cousin, by the way.
How'd you guess? Lori, please come up to the stage.
Hey, everyone. Did you read them before you put them in?
No, I didn't.
That's all right. I think we can remedy that. All right. So when Trevor was born on August 11th, I gained a nephew, obviously. 18 days later, August 29th, Trevor gained a best friend, and honestly, so did I. Watching these two grow up side by side has been one of the greatest joys of my life. Watching their joint journey to Eagle from Cub has truly been a gift. The Eagle Scout you see before you today didn't get here by accident. He got here by being exactly who he is. Trevor is one of the most genuinely empathetic people of any age I've ever met. He sees you, he cares. And it's not performative. That's just Trevor. And it comes from somewhere real and deep. And it always has. Now, scouting wasn't always a perfect fit, right? From cabins to lean-tos, it was always a little intense for Trevor. And the food, he sustained himself on sheer determination, small bites, and the promise of chocolate milk waiting at home. But he showed up, right? And what he always loved, and what his dad outlined, is a craftsmanship. I remember seeing him over your Pinewood Derby car and sanding, and sanding, and sanding, and so it was perfect. And that patience, that refusal to do a job halfway, that's not just a kid who wanted a fast car. That's a character, a person of character revealing themselves early. He moved through multiple districts, and that can be challenging, but Trevor used it as a map. He didn't use it as a maze, and he leaned into what he was built for, sometimes by sheer accident. Mentoring younger scouts, leading with a vision, and putting others before himself. He's earned his way into the Order of the Arrow. He's doing amazing at NYLT, right? Third-year staffing, as we established. And somewhere along the way, that kid that barely tolerated campfire cooking became someone other scouts look up to. And my favorite detail, and this is so perfectly Trevor, is he started carrying around cool little pens and little trinkets, not for himself, but so if he happened upon a scout that was having a hard day, he had something to offer, something small, a smile, a shared moment, and a sense of belonging. And that goes a long way. Trevor didn't just walk this road alone, and I'd be doing this moment a disservice not to recognize the woman beside him who's been there every single step of the way. 22 trips to Broad Creek alone last year, his mother, Wendy. From the first Cub Scout meeting to long NYLT weekends, she's been there logging miles, rearranging schedules, making sure bases were covered in cubs, and stepping up as advancementer in the troop, sitting through countless boards of reviews, popcorn booths, and ensuring every scout feels included in the program and it's a safe place. She didn't just push Trevor from behind, she believed in him out front. And she always looked for ways to smooth the road for you, to make sure that you could be the best person that you needed to be. And my sister has a saying, as you go about your day, look for ways to be a blessing. And that's exactly what she did for Trevor, on his best scouting days and on the harder ones. So good job, Mama. Speaking of family, Scouts is a family. Scouts makes room for everyone. It doesn't demand, what do you have to give? It doesn't demand that you be one thing. It asks, what do you have to give? And Trevor's demonstrated answer has always been more than you'd expect, in ways you didn't see coming. And so if you haven't found your people yet, take a note from Trevor. Keep showing up, and you will find your people. There is a place for you. Trev, I am so proud of you. Not just the journey in the rank, which is awesome, but the person you've become. Thoughtful, persistent, caring, and quietly extraordinary. I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see what you do next. So congratulations, Eagle.
At this point, I would like to invite anyone to come forward and share stories of Trevor's scouting over the years, if you would like. Okay, I guess I'm going first. Mine's also going to include that little family minute. As you all know, Trevor and I have been friends since day one. My day one, his day 18. Love that one.
Yeah, holding it over him.
From that point on, we've shared countless moments together and practically been raised as brothers. Today, I stand before you a very proud cousin, honored to address Trevor as a fellow Eagle Scout. I've always said that it's not the badge, the requirements, the project, or the time it takes that makes an Eagle Scout. It's the journey. Owning Eagle isn't about obtaining a patch. It's about learning how to fly. It teaches you how you think, who you are, and what you need to thrive. The Eagle Scout journey offers every scout limitless opportunities for growth and for leadership. And time again, we've watched Trevor seize those opportunities and forge his own path to Eagle. We began in the same den in a Pac 1250, and I'm gonna be honest, we were quickly separated to be rather rambunctious. Definitely him, not me at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Though we stayed in the same pack and had fun joint den events like Pinewood Derby and Blue and Gold, our paths diverged when we got to our respective groups. It was during this separation that we found our people. Mine in Unami Lodge, Trevor's in NYLT. Those friends, advisors, and scouting family are what guided us and shaped us into the men we are today. What's amazing to me is that aside from the 2024 NOAC in Colorado, our paths didn't truly reconverge until, fittingly, our Eagle projects, in which we helped each other every step of the way, and almost killed each other sometimes. And to me, that's the true beauty of the Eagle Scout journey. It not only allows you to grow on your own, but to also grow together. To make new friends who are drawing you closer to the friends and family you already have. It brought Trevor and me closer in scouting and laid the foundation for many joyful memories, whether fundraising for my project or working side by side on his. It is through this hard work that he's earned the rank of Eagle. Through his growth and his journey that has shaped him into the leader he is today. Trevor has proven himself to be a worthy Eagle Scout. Egon Goodman once said, "He who serves his fellows is, of all his fellows, greatest." So Trevor, I now have my own challenge for you. Continue to serve those around you. Continue to be the leader you have become doubtless. Through that service, you will keep growing. The eagle, soon to be sewn on your chest, is not just a symbol of what you have done, but of what you can do and what you will do. So I challenge you to live by the promise of the Eagle Scout, but to even more importantly, to live by the ideals that your journey has shaped in you. Thank you very much and congrats. Again, I would like to ask if anyone has any stories.
Yeah.
Please come on.
I figured you'd ask
You
something.
have a couple of Welty stories.
I might have done some stuff at NYLT.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Shenandoah Wolf. I met Trevor through NYLT on his first staff experience. I was serving on the staff for one of my many years. It's been weird not doing NYLT. Get ready for that. It's a weird transition out of it. However, we've had some interesting adventures involving a very large snowstorm. We went to sleep, there was no snow on the ground. We woke up at camp and our tents were covered in snow. However, what most of the staff didn't know at that time was that our adults had brought sleds with them. And so because they were working so well and ahead of our training schedule, we went out to one of the fields at Oast and we were sledding. And then all of the staff at the same time decided we were going to throw snowballs at our scoutmaster. To which he turned around and started throwing snowballs back. So it was great. It ended really well. We also taught the Hurley twins how to make a snowman that day because they had never made one before. But even more than that, Trevor showed up and went above and beyond and got extra involved into everything he could. On that course, we had our practice groups, and I had a dance team for my practice group, mostly because one of the members of my dance team was someone named Mason Krim, and he likes to line dance a lot. So he taught it to us all. And then we made dance team shirts. Trevor was not in that practice group. However, at every single staff development, you could see him like in the corner in the videos watching us dance for about 30 seconds. And then he was in there doing it with us. So later on in the course, he earned an honorary dance team shirt with his name on the back that matched everyone else's. And that just shows that you always jump right in. You're never afraid to learn something new or stand in the back and follow along until you can teach someone else. It made it really easy when I was then SPL of the course to know that I wanted you on my senior staff. Mr. Joe and I were on a long drive to a course directors conference, which then I took you to staff a couple years later. There were some car issues on that one. It's okay. The car made it out, so did everyone else. But during that drive was right after I had been asked to be SPO and was our first conversation of who do we want on staff, on senior staff specifically. And there was no doubt in my mind that you were going to be on staff. I love that you ended up as values, mostly because you brought Blue's Clues into it, and that was great. You brought the little mailbox, and you printed out the letter and put it inside, and it was great. You sang the song during the presentation. But I have absolutely zero regrets of putting you in that position. You did amazing. You stepped up and above. We had some staff shuffling, and you were there to help support in any way that you could. And now you came back to staff again in probably the hardest roll-on course.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The SPL is not the hardest. The program is hardest, always. But you are doing phenomenal. I love seeing all the pictures and everything that I have, and I cannot wait to watch what you continue to do with NYLT, no matter how long you stay with it, and with Scouting and beyond.
Would anyone else like to come up and share a scouting story?
Oh, we got one here. This is gonna be an older one. Oh, I'm excited too. We got two.
I just wanted to talk about a couple times that I've worked with Trevor and how much he's impressed me, and his Eagle project is not one of the top ones. He's been so impressive. So one of the times he was senior patrol leader, and you've never, you've heard a couple times that he didn't like camping, he didn't like hiking, stuff like that. And you never knew it when he was senior patrol leader because he was always out there right in front, conducting the plan that he had put out forth, or that they had made. So one of the times we went up to, what's the mountain?
Old Drag.
Old Drag, yeah.
Yeah. Don't remind me of Old Drag.
And it was getting close to the end, and we were running out of water. I think we were out of water, right?
I might have.
And just struggling to make it back. And I think Trevor just about put himself in the hospital, trying to make it back. But he never complained, not even once. Was still helping others get through it, trying to make sure that they had enough water and that they were in a good attitude. And then the other time was one of the most impressive feats that I've ever seen. It was at the talent show, and they mentioned that he could juggle. And so for his talent, he juggled and sang a song. What was the song was?
I believe it was The Very Model of a Modern Major General.
Yeah. One of the
very hard song.
Impressive things that I've ever seen. So ask him to do it for you sometime.
That guy still beat me at the talent show though in the end. Your son.
But yeah, I would have voted for you. So. But yeah, it's been great working with Trevor, and but he's going to succeed. We're
very much.
had something planned to say, which I'm still going to say, but I'd first like to address the audience and say I am very personally incredibly disappointed in every single one. Because when I came up here for my Eagle ceremony 4 years ago, I remember adults would come up and they would give stories about how at my first meetings I would cry, bad bloody nose. I remember Mr. Rob talking about how I got a bloody nose like halfway through a hiking trip, several miles away from anything, and then I just like sat down and wouldn't move. And I was really looking forward to hearing these stories, and you guys are like, Trevor is such a responsible person. I'm just like, come on. From the very beginning, ever since I've known Trevor, I've known that he's a responsible guy. I've known that he is, incredible person. But throw me a bone. So I'd like to talk about who Trevor is from my perspective. So Trevor, you've been in Scouts for a while now. I probably was only in your scouting journey for 2 or 3 years.
Probably around there.
But now you know what it's like to teach somebody. Now you know what it's like to be a mentor. And now you know what it's like when you sit down and you've been practicing skill that you're going to teach students. You're so ready, you're excited. This is my big moment. And you go to teach Scouts, and they're just like, eh. And you can't get them to pay attention, and then they go start talking about Fortnite in a corner. So that's my experience with teaching Scouts. So it's one thing for me to be willing to stay behind after a Scout meeting and teach Trevor and help Trevor earn ranking up requirements. That's something I was very willing to do. That was very fun for me. I was very happy with that because I'm a Scout. I love teaching. I love learning. I love sharing. That's something that I was all on board with. But what has always impressed me, Trevor, is that you were willing to learn. Because it's one thing to be willing to teach when you already know, when you're ready, when you're responsible. And it's another thing to be able to not only seek out help, but be willing to learn about it. And let me tell you, Trevor, I've talked about you behind your back quite a lot. I distinctly remember after one of our teaching sessions, when I got home, I went upstairs, I changed, I went downstairs, I was sitting on the couch, and I talked to my brother, and I looked at him, and I'm like, Trevor's getting the Eagle rank, right? And he was like, yeah, probably. And that was really jarring to hear people be like, Trevor struggled, because ever since the beginning, Trevor, you've been a very motivated person, and your ability to earnestly seek out knowledge and to learn and to grow and to adapt is something I've always been really impressed with. And as somebody who's your senior in scouting, seeing somebody like you growing up really pushed me to not fall behind. So I'd like to thank you for that, Trevor. And it means a lot to me that you made it here. I'm very proud of you. Good job.
You didn't bring up the summer camp, my first summer camp stuff, so it's fine.
I'm willing to let you do it if it's good.
I'm good.
Anyone else?
See, I won't be able to beat that one.
Yeah.
It'll be something. So, my name is Nathan Buckingham. I am the Section E10 Secretary. A little bit of information. Before I got into that position, I was the National Pike Chapter Chief. And a little bit behind that, our lodge had an extension of the periods where the officers were in their positions because we went from, was it July to June? Yeah, July to June, and we switched it back to January to December. So we were in these positions for a year and a half, but before that, during the elections, 2 minutes before the election, I walk up to Trevor and I start talking to him. I knew him from the previous gathering. And I was like, hey, Trevor, you want to run for the Vice Chief of Ceremonies position? 2 minutes before, no speech plan, nothing. And after the chapter chief election where I was elected, Trevor walks up and the vice chiefs are getting elected. And they have to say a little bit of something, not something too long because it's at the chapter level, but Trevor immediately dives in, never having done any position in the OA before.
never having done a ceremony, absolutely nothing. And he won the election, obviously. And about a month later, I said, "Hey, Trevor, I might need you to fill in for a ceremony for me." He says, "How long do I have to memorize?" Those scripts are not easy to memorize. Am I right? Those scripts are not easy to memorize at all. She knows.
She was on my side.
They are not easy to memorize at all. And he immediately dove in and offered to memorize it. And just so you know, you're going to be doing a ceremony.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Oh, wait, I know some new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are going to be
that's
fun.
Yeah.
So thank you for all that you've done for me. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your scouting journey. And thank you for taking on the positions that I've asked you to take on.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot more of each other soon.
Anyone else? I have. Going once. Going twice. Sold!
What do you have on me? You joined the last like 2 years. What do you have on me?
Just come. It doesn't matter. We have a ramp, but it's for decoration purposes.
So, I don't think many of you know me at all. I'm Ethan Conley. I am a scout in 432, a second class. I don't know Trevor personally at all. I have interacted with him many times. And on one meeting, I do distinctly remember I did not have much to do. And he was there, he was present. And I walked up to him and we just kind of interacted for a bit. And that interaction lasted for a few minutes. And I remember very well that I think we got into a dad joke competition.
We did. Yeah, we did.
And that lasted throughout pretty much most of the meeting. We kept kind of going back and forth throughout the meeting, and it was indeed very interesting. And it was a very good time, and we have made other interactions. I don't really know what else to say, but
You've been around for a little bit.
yeah, we've made other interactions, and he's just made a general impact on me, and I see him as a good person that I could interact with.
I also forgot to do this earlier. I have a small gift from Trevor. So these are ashes from the original ceremony file at Treasure Island Scout Reservation from the original ordeal. As a token memento from the Amulet one.
There's some jealous people in the audience.
All right. Anyone else? No. Awesome. I would like to welcome Mr. Dave back to officially close this court of honor. Oh, just me. Reading part, right?
It is my seat. I know the script.
You wrote it.
I did right. Okay. I'd like to thank you all for coming. Everybody here has made an impact on my scouting journey. It's not over yet. I'm still going. But it's like to thank all of you. Some of you I see very regularly. Some of you I haven't seen in probably actually years. But you all came out for me, and I am so deeply appreciative of that. So I just like thank you all. Okay, I forgot about the script. Could my mom, Aunt Lori, and Lily please come join me up here? And, yeah, you know how to get those.
Nice, look, I'm using the ramp.
Eagle ceremonies I've been to, it's a tradition to give some of the important women in your life flowers. So I'd like to present here to you. For Lily. It's a nice rainbow color there. I'll picture that first. Picture that first.
Oh, we're supposed to be serious?
Also, grandparents aren't here physically, but they're here virtually. Deliver these grandparent bits to them whenever I see them next.
Anything else?
No, you stay. No, I stay.
If I'm standing, you'll stand.
Okay, sure.
One more time, I would like to welcome Mr. Dave back to officially, for the final time, close this quarter one.
Are you sure?
67%.
Cool. He said he would do it once. Kept his word.
The scout is honest.
Kept his word.
So, I now officially close this Eagle Scout Order of Honor for Trevor.
Now you may be seated. Now.
Color guard. Color guard. Come forward. The flags are over here. None in the script. Color guard. Forward march. Audience, please rise. Color guard, retrieve the colors. Scout salute. Color guard, retrieve. Two, you may be seated. This concludes our program today. Thank you all for coming. I hope you will take the opportunity to congratulate Trevor. And I would like to invite you all to stay for desserts and refreshments. And this is now unofficially closed by me. So.